Mr. Chairman, the first paragraph says our government is complicit. Our government is complicit and will not do anything about it. Nanado bears ultimate responsibility. He has the power to arrest and deal decisively with everyone involved. I don't care what party they belong to, they are wicked criminals. Deal with them. But alas, Nanado cannot. He is complicit and a beneficiary. If we want to deal with this canker, we need to be honest and brutally frank with the truth.
So I'm saying that, I've read it. This job, I've been doing it for some 15 years and more. So I know where I'm getting to. I'm done with the other leg of you saying he's a beneficiary. So back to the complicit part. I'm asking you whether you maintain that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, our former president, was indeed complicit. Do you maintain that?
Given the poor fight against Galamsey, I hold that view.
Get you, please.
Given the abysmal fight against Galamsey, I hold that view.
To what extent do you hold that view that his performance in the Galamsey fight was abysmal?
The president promised to put his presidency on the line to fight Galamsey. There were several instances where persons in the president's government and party were found or accused of being involved in the illegal mining of gold in our country, in forest reserves and water bodies. The president did not show the leadership that he promised this country. He folded, and that's the record. It can't be changed. So as far as I'm concerned, he was complicit.
Do you have any evidence or probative value to the effect that these people that you claim were part of government and were mining were at the presidency?
Mr. Chairman, the government is bigger than the presidency. The government extends even to the ruling party. That's why the ruling party's general secretary and national chairman sit in cabinet. So the party is part of government. And the ministries are part of government. Agencies are part of government. So if persons in agencies and persons in the party, ruling party, are involved in this, the government is complicit. It stands to hold. Thank you.
Okay, so what you are suggesting to us today is that now that President John Dramani Mahama is the President of the Republic, any individual at the party level, say constituency officer in Owen, involved in a Galamsey activity, citizens of this country should loudly say that to the extent that that person is a member of the ruling party, John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, respectfully, should be held complicit. Correct?
I haven't said so. If President Mahama puts his presidency on the line to fight corruption and is unable to take action in the unforeseeable instance where an appointee of his, there is evidence of corruption, and he rather seeks to clear them like we've seen in the past, then you can hold President Mahama liable. But the President Mahama I know, and his track record that is before this country, we've seen the Geoge scandal. We've seen previous scandals. He ran a sunlight campaign on corruption. So I know that if what you are suggesting is not what I've said, but President Akufo-Addo put his presidency on the line. He raised the bar. He raised the standard. And so we hold him to that standard. Thank you.
Now, should any agency, now that President John Mahama is in office, you are again suggesting that should any agency involved in anti-Galamsey activity falter in any way, it would amount to the president himself being complicit, correct?
Not correct, Mr. Chairman. I gave a specific example. President Mahama has been definite on corruption because corruption is the biggest problem.
Talking about anti-Galamsey.
President
we are talking
Mahama,
about Galamsey, so
yes.
let's stay there.
No, Mr. Chairman, because of the question you asked, President Mahama...
Honorable nominee.
Honorable nominee, the question is specific, making specific reference to Galamsey. It's not asking you any question in relation to corruption. So if you can stay within the question and provide your answers briefly, you will do us a very good service.
Yes, I asked you the question. You want
Honorable Chair, please, if the question could be repeated.
My question to you. Now we have President John Dramani Mahama in office. Should any agency involved in anti-Galamsey activity fail, should we say that the President of the Republic is complicit?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Pardon?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so you are suggesting that in this current administration, any failure on the part of any agency in the fight against Galamsey should not be held against the president, correct?
He has responsibilities. He will fulfill his responsibilities.
Yes, I know. No, as for that one, we all expect government to fulfill their responsibilities. But my question is, should there be any failing at any agency? Should there be any failing in any agency? Will the president be complicit?
Mr. Chairman, respectfully, this is now assumptions. We're building scenarios. I can't speak indefinite to conjecture and scenarios. If we get to that point, I'm sure today we are speaking about this because there is hindsight on President Akufo-Addo's leadership. I believe that we'll have the opportunity 4 years down the line to judge President Mahama, but it will be unfair for me to pass judgment on a man who is barely 3 weeks in office. Thank you.
Please, Chair, with your leave, may our clerk and the clerk to the committee have this and take back the earlier yes, please. Yes, please. Are you in possession of the 7? Yes, I've labeled the 7, please.
Yes, please, Mr. Chairman. Exhibit 7.
Kindly identify it. Is it a post you made, please?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, it's a post I made.
Honorable members of Parliament who are visiting us, order. I'm not taking chairman's powers. Order. This is an exercise that students will learn something from. Yes, so honorable nominee, please read it aloud.
As a son of Gandangwe,
Yes.
I am outraged and disgusted at the continued abuse of state power and authority and the wanton encroachment and capture of Ga lands. The latest attempt to steal lands belonging to GIS by agents purporting to be from the presidency of Nana Akufo-Addo is shameful and sad. I am yet to hear a condemnation from the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Honorable Samuel Abu Jinapor. He is responsible for the sector, and his children attend the affected school. It is also time for the Gamanche and the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs to man up and speak. Their silence is cowardice and a blot on the integrity of the Gan state. They either speak up or we consider them willing accomplices. The next John Dramani Mahama government from 2025 must recover all such stolen lands and prosecute the perpetrators irrespective of their political colors. Enough is enough. Followed by a lion emoji, an angry face emoji, and Ghana, the Ghana flag. Thank you.
Honorable nominee.
Chairman.
We'll do some little exercise on this post.
Yes, Chairman.
Respectfully, at the time you made this post, did you have reason to believe that the government officials were taking over GIS lands? Did you have reason to believe same to be true?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Can you share with us the grounds upon which this was founded?
Mr. Chairman, I listened to the news that day, and there was the news reported that a team of armed officers purporting to have come from the office of the president had accompanied a private real estate developer to take portions of the land belonging to GIS in the cantonment area. Thank you.
Did you take steps to verify this information prior to the post? Did you verify?
Mr. Chairman, I had no reason to doubt the credibility of the media houses on which I heard the story.
Which media houses did you hear the story?
Mr. Chairman, it was reported, I believe, by City. It was reported by Joy. These are two of the most credible media houses in the country.
And what was the report?
That officers or security personnel purported to be coming from the office of the president had accompanied a real estate developer to take over portions of GIS land.
So you've used the word purported, which means that there was no evidence of state-sponsored takeover of GIS land. You've used purported to suggest that, indeed, there was no such evidence that the government was aiding a private developer to take over portions of GIS land, correct?
The evidence I based on was a news reportage.
Would you want to retract this post?
Mr. Chairman, with your permission, I will read a Ghana Web story that speaks to this particular issue.
Honorable nominee, the question is, would you want to retract?
No.
Or you still
No, Mr.
You're answering
Chairman.
the question. Nobody asked you to go and read anything from Ghana Web.
Honorable nominee, with the leave of chair, I will let you read. Honorable nominee, please kindly read. First of all, identify the document. Is it a document you posted?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Respectfully, can you read the post aloud and in extenso?
Mr. Chairman, the post was in reference to, and what you've printed for me, is my post and a post from the immediate past Minister for Communications. So which should I read? I should read both?
Read yours. Read yours first.
I should read mine first.
Yes, please.
Respectfully, Chairman, mine is a response to her post. It will make better understanding if you get the context in which my response came.
So please read all.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As Lausu posted on 26th April 2021, some people find it very difficult to believe we can negotiate good deals for government. I signed the Airtel Tigo contract. We acquired it for just $1. Someone, an MP, says he heard me say we paid $25 million. A barefaced lie, blatant untruth. Please ask Sam George where he heard that. Then sit back and listen to long English, grammar and drama. Just keep your eyes on the ball. How much did we pay to acquire the company? $1. Simple. Then my response on the same day. Someone tell our Minister for Communications that grand posturing and arrogant clapbacks will not stop us on the Parliamentary Committee of Communications and the good people of Ghana from demanding accountability from her. What does she take us for? That she bought Airtel Tigo for $1? How much is the eyebrow pencil she uses to draw her eyebrow? And she thinks she can insult our intelligence? Madam, after basking in the fake funds of your social media followers, prepare to appear before the committee and give us details of the transactions. We will not allow the already burdened taxpayer of our country to be saddled with poorly thought out decisions that impose more debt or hardship on us. Our eyes are fixed on the ball, and I urge you to do same. No long talk.
Do you maintain the content of this post and the language you used in describing Honorable Lausu?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Very well. Chair.
Hello, order. Honorable Afriye, order.
Please proceed.
Dated 19th November 2024. Clearly, the Supreme Court, led by the Chief Justice, will do everything in their power to protect their demigod, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, from signing the Family Values Bill. The CJ should be ashamed of herself. After preaching against such vices in ICGC and failing to walk her talk and take a stance when it matters most, such characters are the ones our Lord Jesus Christ chased out of the temple with a whip. From President Akufo-Addo to all members of the pro-LGBTQI cabal in all arms of government, shame on you. Bow your heads in disdain. Our children and grandchildren will remember you for all the wrong reasons. The lion emoji and the Ghana flag. And then there's a picture of the scales of justice along with it. Thank you.
No, not. Right, Honorable Sam George.
Mr. Chairman,
On what date did you make this post?
19th of November 2024, Chairman.
At the time you made this post, the court had already given a date for judgment in this matter, correct?
Mr. Chairman, if my memory serves me right, I made this post on the day that the courts decided that they would give judgment after the elections on December 7th, that they will give judgment on the 18th. And that's what premised me saying they will go to any length to protect President Akufo-Addo from signing the bill.
Honorable Sam George, respectfully, the Supreme Court is an independent constitutional body. Do you believe in that?
On the face of the paper, it ought to be.
The Supreme Court of Ghana, through its actions, determinations of matters, is practically independent of the executive. Do you believe in that?
Based on the doctrine of separation of powers, yes.
At the time you made this post, what was your basis for saying that the Supreme Court sees Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as its demigod? What informed that?
I reached this conclusion on the basis that the Supreme Court had the power to hear this matter and give judgment before the elections, but chose to do so after the elections. And that's what brought me to this conclusion.
So, you mean all the judges who were on the panel had one thing in mind: to protect Akufo-Addo, merely because they gave a date which is after the election. Is that your point?
Mr. Chairman, I have not made reference to all the judges of the court. I referenced the Chief Justice. She had the power to fix the date. She was president of the panel, so she determined the date.
Are you aware that the Chief Justice was not a member of the panel at the time you made this post? Are you aware?
Mr. Chairman, that is not correct.
Honorable Sam George, would you be surprised? Okay, so if you come to a conclusion, or if I bring you evidence that the Chief Justice was not a member of the panel on the said date that you wrote this your post, would you retract this?
Mr. Chairman, I will be a man of integrity and retract this if there is evidence, which I know doesn't exist, that the Chief Justice was not part of the panel, because she had been on the panel as far back as July. And this was done on the 19th of November. She had always been a part of the panel. But if there is evidence that shows that she wasn't part of it, I'll do the honorable thing.
Honorable Sam George.
The Chairman.
At the time you made this your post, had you really done your checks to know who constituted the panel?
Mr. Chairman, as far as I was aware, and like I said, even on the 18th of July, as far back as the 18th of July.
Yeah, we are on the wait. I want us to.
Honorable, with all due respect, when you ask a question and the nominee is providing the answer, let's allow the nominee to land with the answer, then you can follow up with another question.
Thank you, Chairman. Please, I am on the 19th November post. That 19th November post, was it after the court hearing, or it was a very day the court gave a date for its judgment?
Mr. Chairman, I don't really recall.
Were you in court yourself?
No, Mr. Chairman.
But you became aware that on the said date, the court had given a date, 18th December, for its final ruling on the matter.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, it was reported in the news.
Based on the news reportage, you attacked the Chief Justice, correct? Because of your belief that the Chief Justice was a president of the panel, correct?
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
Now, did you become aware? Did you become? Roxanne,
Let me ask
Chairman,
I want to ask a follow-up question. I want to ask a follow-up question.
Chairman,
Honorable Leader, I want a follow-up question.
let me take a deep breath. Let me take a deep breath.
Honorable nominee, did you attack the Chief Justice?
No. Like I've stated constantly before this committee, I have criticized her constructively. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable nominee, please, the document you have before you, please read it one more time. Let's deal with some aspect of it again.
Clearly, the Supreme Court, led by the Chief Justice, will do everything in their power to protect their demigod, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, from signing the Family Values Bill. The CJ should be ashamed of herself after preaching against such vices in ICGC and failing to walk her talk and take a stand when it matters most. Such characters are the ones our Lord Jesus Christ chased out of the temple with a whip. From President Akufo-Addo to all members of the pro-LGBTQI cabal in all arms of government, shame on you. Bow your heads in disdain. Our children and grandchildren will remember you for all the wrong reasons.
Would you want to retract this post?
No, Mr. Chairman.
If you become aware that Her Ladyship Lovelace Johnson was the president of the panel and that the Chief Justice was not a member of the panel in any way, would you retract the post?
Mr. Chairman, I'm fully aware that when I read the judgment, Her Lady Justice Lovelace Johnson was the lead of the panel. That doesn't take away the powers of the Chief Justice in ensuring the speedy dispensation and discharge of justice.
When you read the judgment, did you see the Chief Justice's name as being part of the panel?
No, Mr. Chairman.
So, in your view, the fact that the court had given 18th December dates amounted to they being in collision with the President of the Republic at the time, correct?
Honorable Leader, I recognize Roxanne Nelson Zapamakpo on supplementary.
No, but Chairman.
You will come back to your question.
Chairman, with respect, I have asked my question. Let him answer. I have all the patience for these proceedings. If my respected friend, who had his turn, and I never interfered with this supplementary, is now taking advantage to say that he is now doing follow-up, so be it. You are the chair.
Proceed to answer the question, then I will allow his follow-up.
Can he please repeat the question?
All members, order. Honorable Leader, once the nominee is requesting you to repeat your question, and the question is going to be repeated for an answer, let me take the supplementary question on the earlier answer, then I will come to you to repeat the question.
Chairman, thank you very much. Honorable nominee, you, about 2 hours ago, when the leader, the minority leader, took you on this path, you told the committee that you made this statement and others at the time when the motion or notice for interlocutory injunction was heard by the Supreme Court. That panel presided by Her Ladyship, the CJ, but ruling deferred by the court to the final determination of the matter. That was your answer. Do you still stand by it?
I do, Mr. Chairman.
To place the matters in context.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Now, Chairman, let me seize the opportunity to ask Rankin.
Honorable,
how long has it to go?
Honorable, you are entitled to one follow-up question.
Thank you very much.
Please, you've asked your follow-up question.
Every time you want to.
Honorable nominee, you had earlier on indicated that should you come to the realization that the Chief Justice was not part of the final judgment in the matter in issue, you will pull down or retract the post you made on the 19th of November. Do you maintain that?
Mr. Chairman, can I, in answering this question, read the second paragraph of my post? The CJ should be ashamed of herself after preaching against such vices in ICGC and failing to walk her talk and take a stand when it matters most. Context. She had heard the injunction case, deferred ruling because she wanted to get the benefit of understanding the substantive case. When that time came, she walked away from it. I am a man of deep faith. My faith will never waver when it comes to my principles on homosexuality as a Christian. She passed the buck when she had to take a stance when it mattered most. And that's why I continue to say, such characters are the ones our Lord Jesus Christ chased out of a temple with a whip. So it's context. Thank you.
Let's stay on context. Do you know that our faith, as we exercise it, and the law do not operate on the same level? Do you know that?
Yes, I do.
So it would be unfair to attack a judge in a matter of law merely because of the faith she professes.
Mr. Chairman, I did not attack. I criticized. Thank you.
Would you agree with me that it would be unfair to criticize a judge sitting in a court of law for exercising her discretion in law merely because of her faith?
If that judge is also a lay preacher, I would expect that her judgment will be influenced by her calling and by her faith.
Very well. Let me, Chairman, let me take him to the next day. Hello?
So I'm a judge. Then
Honorable nominee, I have given. Hello, honorable nominee,
Yes, Chairman.
I have given you a document, a paper. Please.
With the greatest of respect, this event is not one authored by me. It is Act 1, Scene 1 from Macbeth.
That is correct. That is correct.
I don't know if it is within my place to request from the chairman the relevance of reading Macbeth as a Minister for Communication and Innovations.
Honorable Leader, once the document is not emanating from the nominee, accordingly, he's not supposed to answer any question based on it.
Chairman with respect. Chairman with respect.
Honorable Leader, you know the position of the law, that if you are not the author of a document, you are not for the content of the document, and as such, you cannot be asked to answer questions based on a document of which you are not the author.
Chairman, I have not asked him a question. Perhaps the lawyers on this table may assist me. I can make mistakes, and I'm ready to learn. We are allowed to lay a foundation. Around this table, we've laid foundation with constituent, with media publications. In fact, we laid a foundation at the of my questions with St. Francis of Assisi prayer. He read it out. He read it. He has it right here. So, a document that is being read to lay a foundation to mount a question is allowed. I don't know why you are.
Honorable Leader, Minority Leader, Honorable friend, we all know the rules. You haven't asked any question, but you asked the nominee to take a look at a document. Answer from the nominee is to the effect that I am not the author of the document you are asking to take a look at.
Okay, so the proper form. Like I said, we will continue to learn. Honorable nominee, please, you have an extract from Macbeth before you, correct?
That's correct.
Please read the relevant provisions there as in your hand.
I do not know, Mr. Chairman, what is relevant.
You see, Honorable nominee, hold it. For us to know the relevance of what you are asking, good question. He is saying that he didn't author asking him to read. So why would you be asking him a when he expressly told you that the document you are giving me, I am not the author? He is not the author. So my learned friend, once the answer from the nominee is that you give me a document, I am not the author of the document, it's about telling you I don't know anything about this document. With all due respect. Therefore, I'm able to allow him to answer questions based on the document I'm giving him.
I have to read the content of what I've given him. I've not asked him a question yet, but like I said, if you are overruling my request for him to read the content to enable me as the relevant questions, if you're overruling me by your ruling, I don't need to stretch it. I will abide by your ruling. Because I need to lay a foundation. I know he's not the author, that is why I referred to it, to enable me to count the question. But if you hold a view that I cannot even rely on it to ask my question, that is fair enough. I will respect your ruling. I will not challenge you.
That is my ruling accordingly.
Very well.
Bring the document back.
Mr. Chairman, please crave your indulgence to make just a statement. I just this opportunity to apologize to my chiefs who have been sitting here since 7 a.m. Notice. Neneme, nyame, ipanyepe, chapie miningepe. Majenya, nyechu. Thank you.
With respect, the nominee has made certain public statements. I need to ask him certain questions based on those statements he's made on TV and all. I, with your leave, made them available to the clerk, to the committee. So we shall proceed to watch the videos and then would ask the questions one after the other on it. The clerk to the committee was provided with it, and we did this arrangement before the hearing. So please set the technology in place for us to watch the video. Thank you.
He's a Muslim by day, a Christian by night. A religious prostitute cannot be our president.
All right, okay.
He's a Muslim by day, a Christian by night. A religious prostitute cannot be our president.
All right, okay.
He's a Muslim by day, a Christian by night. A religious prostitute cannot be our president.
All right, okay.
Honorable nominee, you described the Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia as a religious prostitute. Do you stand by what you said at the time? Do you stand by it?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
On what basis do you describe Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia as a religious prostitute?
Mr. Chairman, I think I was in the spirit when I made those comments because he never became president. Because I said someone who carried out his will never become president. So I believe the unction of the Holy Spirit. The basis for that, the then Vice President that he was a member of the Boys Brigade. The Methodist Boys Brigade.
You've answered. We were in the order.
Honorable nominee.
Mr. Chairman.
Had you heard exactly what the Vice President had said in respect of his relationship with the Boys Brigade as a child? Exactly what he said, the basis upon which you made this statement.
Mr. Chairman, you know, a Catholic is an Catholic. There are things of the Spirit that he may not understand. And so it may be impossible for me to explain when the Spirit and you speak and work under the unction how. Thank you.
Honorable nominee.
Mr. Chairman.
Honorable nominee.
Mr. Chairman.
I have heard you. Are you therefore saying that led by the Holy Spirit,
Honorable member, can you do as the honorable thing by retracting the aspect of you saying you are is a Catholic? So it's of a different faith.
If it pleases the chairman, but I thought these were issues of fact. But if it pleases the chairman,
Please.
If it pleases the chairman, I withdraw.
Please. Statement withdrawn. Let's make progress.
please, the technology controller, next video.
The reset of Ghana. A vote for John Mahama is a vote to protect our culture, to protect our family values. A vote for Bawumia and Napo is a vote for homosexuality, is a vote for comprehensive sexuality education, and Ghanaians say no to Trumu Trumu, no to Trumu Trumu, no to Trumu Trumu. We need John Dramani Mahama to come and sign the bill into law. Ayazu, if you love the children of Ghana, if you love our family values, if you love your faith as a Christian, if you love your faith as a Muslim, if you love your faith even as a traditionalist, you know that we do not support homosexuality. Napo must account and go to the Pope.
Yes, honorable nominee.
Mr. Chairman.
Did you have any basis to say that the Vice President of the Republic, Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia, as he then was seeking to be the president of Ghana to promote homosexuality?
Mr. Chairman, I said a vote for them will be a vote for that.
You, in your present circumstance, still maintain that statement you made?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Had you any reason to believe that Dr. Bawumia was seeking office to promote homosexuality as you described?
Mr. Chairman, in the tape, I don't make reference to only Dr. Matthew Poku. And there's
So, reason to say that Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh was seeking for the high office of Vice President of the Republic to promote homosexuality?
I was speaking to his track record, Chairman.
What is his track record?
Mr. Chairman, as Minister, he oversaw the attempted introduction of comprehensive sexuality education and proceeded to a meeting, a united of African ministers of education, where he gleefully spoke about the benefits of introducing sexuality education into African curricula. Available, we can pull it up and make it available to the committee.
Honorable nominee, you said he presided over an attempted introduction of homosexuality.
Of comprehensive sexuality education. That's what I said, Mr.
Difference between comprehensive sexuality education and homosexuality, is there a difference?
One is an material that teaches on homosexuality. Homosexuality, on the other, act.
You are saying that he presided over an attempt.
The traditional rulers of our, the moral, but for them, he would have succeeded.
Honorable nominee, I am suggesting to you that what you are saying in respect of Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, then as Education Minister, is inaccurate. I'm suggesting that to you.
The facts available to me prove the other.
Please, next video.
People say that I've been saying to a few friends that people say that politicians steal from the public purse. The Nana Akufo-Addo government did not steal from the public purse. They stole the purse. I've been saying to a few friends that people say that politicians steal from the public purse. The Nana Akufo-Addo government did not steal from the public purse. They stole the purse.
No problem. Hello, honorable nominee.
Mr. Chairman,
You have just watched the video. Would you want to explain what you mean by Nana Akufo-Addo did not steal from the public purse, but he actually stole the purse? Would you explain what you meant by that? And after that, let the public know whether you still stand by that statement or to retract.
Mr. Chairman, before I answer, may I seek how many minutes I have to answer? Because I have a litany of over 6 corruption scandals under President Akufo-Addo that I would explain each one to show Ghanaians that Akufo-Addo and his government stole the public purse.
The question is, do you stand by it? Not.
The question was twofold. So, do I stand by it? Yes. Why did I say it? That's what I'm asking for. How many minutes or hours you give to me to run through 700 corruption scandals under President
Akufo-Addo? If the nominee so pleases evidence against Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and he wants to proceed, it is within his right to proceed. Proceed. That's fine. Proceed.
Honorable members, other members, looking at the time or the nominee to be proceeding with over 700 evidence that he is having. So instead, I will urge upon the nominee to make it available for the committee.
Chairman, in view of your earlier ruling, I will be happy to receive all that evidence so that as a house and as part of the proceedings, upon receipt, those individuals who were involved in those corrupt practices will then appear before for us to interrogate the issues, because this is an important matter. So there's no problem at all. We will be. Next video, please.
How many minutes would it take you to state it? Stating.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not just going to state, I'm going to explain. So I'll need about 4.5 hours.
I'm asking you to state. I'm not asking you to give explanation. Can
Chairman,
you state it?
Mr. Chairman, just stating it and not explaining it will not do justice to me. So then, if you won't allow me to explain them for the Ghanaian, then there's no need me starting.
Chairman, I think that he needs 4.5 hours. If it will mean we should come back again tomorrow to continue the exercise, fine. If he has them here, no problem. No, we are here. If he wants to, if he needs to, if he thinks that he has to proceed the 4.5 hours to complete it. Whatever, I leave it to chairman. I leave it to chairman to judge.
Please, let's make progress.
Please, next video. Chairman should submit. That's the ruling of the chair. That he should submit the 700 cases of corruption against those individuals so that we deal with it.
But, honourable members, ranking, we've been here for close to 3 years alone. Do you have any more further questions?
Chairman.
And how long will you go? How many more questions do you have?
Chairman, we have the video series. Please, let's do the third one.
Chairman, honorable leader, you property that though you have unlimited questions to ask, you'll be very fair and reasonable. But today, you've asked a question for close to 3 hours.
Chairman, Let's take the next video, please. Honorable nominee.
Mr. Chairman.
You were in that video, correct?
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
In that scuffle, do you think that your role there was most appropriate in the ensuing scuffle?
Mr. Chairman, firstly, I didn't see a scuffle, and secondly, I didn't see any role I played.
Next video.
A misconception has been put out, and you know that's a misconception has been put out, and I listened to that full BBC interview. President Mahama has been clear that he will sign that bill, and he has no option than to sign that bill. President Mahama will know no peace from Sam George until he signs that bill, and he himself has said that to the clergy, that as a Christian, as a member of the Assemblies of God Church, he will sign that bill. In that bill.
Honorable nominee, the president, in a meeting with the clergy, suggested to the clergy that instead of passing a law, it will perhaps help if we rather introduce in our curriculum the teachings of our values in our schools for our kids to appreciate the Ghanaian value system. Do you support that proposition by the president?
Mr. Chairman, this is an incorrect representation of what President Mahama said.
Please, what is the correct representation? Would you want to quote correctly if you hold a view that what I've said is incorrect?
Mr. Chairman, with your permission, can I reciprocate by asking the clerks to send the document I have here, which is a transcript of what President Mahama said, to the ranking member so he can read for the hearing of the public.
Honorable nominee, you don't have such right. Once you are pulling out the document, it is incumbent upon you to read it or you put it back.
I'm guided, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I'm going to read the full text of what President Mahama said. Proper human sexual, and then there was laughter. It's quite a long name. Proper Family Values Bill. If you remember, there was a court case that injuncted the Speaker from forwarding it to the President, and also restrained the President from receiving the bill. Eventually, that case was disposed of in December, I think on the 18th or something. Yes, so it meant that the injunction had been cleared, but as far as I know, the bill did not get to the President for assent. So the convention is that all bills that are not accented to before the expiration of the life of Parliament expires. And so that bill, effectively, is dead. It has expired. I don't know what the promoters of the bill intend to do, but I do think that we should have a conversation on it again, so that all of us, if we decide to move that bill forward, move it forward with a consensus, emphasis mine. And probably, it shouldn't be a private member's bill. It probably should be a government bill, with a government behind it, after consultation with all the stakeholders, to see how we know where to move this forward. But it leads us back to the discussion we had had. If we were teaching our values in school, we wouldn't need to pass a bill to enforce, our family values. And that is why I think more than even the family values bill is us agreeing on a curriculum that inculcates these values into our children as they are now growing up, so that we don't need to legislate it. And so we will see how all this goes. So I'm looking forward to this review conference to come to some consensus on some of these issues. Clearly, President Mahama is in support of the bill, but is advising a more holistic view. Apart from passing the legislation, also the reintroduction of our family values into the curriculum of our children. That cannot be a wrong advice. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. President said he does not know which part the proponent of the bill would want to have. Tell us which part you, as a proponent of the bill, would want to have.
Mr. Chairman, I answered this question earlier, but because he wasn't around, I will repeat again. My chiefs who authorized me and the people of Ningo Prampram who authorized me to start the sponsorship of the bill still hold the view that the bill is necessary. I will engage with His Excellency the President on the path and the way forward. Either as a private member's bill, where the Attorney General will not delay the bill but in 1 year, for 1 year in Parliament by not giving us an opinion, and then, or it will come in as a government bill that will all support and pass, like the Speaker has said, urgently. Thank you.
Now, what will be your reaction should there be an attempt to dilute the current state of the bill as you forcefully proposed for legislation?
Mr. Chairman, the ranking member is my senior in the House, and he knows that we have the process of amendments to introduce whatever opinions and views I hold
Honorable
into a bill.
As we speak right now, there is no bill before the House. That bill has expired.
Mr. Chair, we go to the next video. Technology, we go to the next video.
From 110 polling stations, out of 140, at the end of the election at Okankwe Central Constituency, Patrick Yabuama had 14,949. Sadiq had 15,383.
Mr. Chairman.
Total valid votes.
Mr. Chairman. Whilst Chairman, let me go off record and tell you what I have to tell you. I mean, out of deference to you.
Honorable Clerk of the Committee, approach the chair. All right, members, let's make progress.
All right, Chairman, thank you. Honorable nominee, we
Chairman.
are having resolved. We would ask some other questions so that when the technical challenge is resolved, we can come back. So let's go to your sector, the independence of your regulators. You may be well aware that global best practices has created an environment where regulators have become increasingly independent. In your view, do you think that the NCA should strive for a full independence, or would you support a policy that would lead to a full autonomy of NCA?
Mr. Chairman, the act that sets up the NCA is about 17 years old. It's way overdue for review. There will be a technical process to review the legislation, and all of that will be taken into consideration. Thank you.
Now, on the issue of quality of service and spectrum access, you are very much aware that citizens are so concerned about quality of service from our mobile operators. The operators themselves have expressed complaints, worries about their lack of access to the spectrum and frequencies. Assuming that office as a sector minister, would you commit to providing all the operators with the necessary spectrum and resources to enhance the quality of service,
such as the data, voice, and digital services? At least, not to be overambitious, but within your first 120 days in office.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, spectrum is a finite national resource. It's not infinite. And so the management of spectrum is critical for the maintenance of balance in the sector. We'll continue to look at maintaining the balance in the ecosystem, maintaining the strength of the sector, and taking direction and leading from His Excellency the President. We'll continue our management of spectrum in a way that ensures proper quality of service for consumer experience, but also ensuring that the businesses are kept afloat. Thank you.